This is Keith Boggs with Stonebriar Property Inspections, and this is the inspection debrief for 17622 Plumberia Lane in Dallas. We've got about 112 pictures, several videos. Sorry about that. So again, all these pictures aren't going to make it into the report, just the defects, but they'll be all in this video right here. First picture you see here is just a picture of the front of the house. Nothing necessarily wrong. That's just the title page of the report. This is the direction the house is facing is west. Okay, that's for the state requires you put that in the report. So that will be in a part of the report that you won't see, but it'll be in the report. And this is the temperature when I got here. It's about 80 right now. Since it was above 60, that allowed us to test both the air conditioning and the heat. If it didn't get above 60, we wouldn't have been able to test the air conditioning, but we were able to do that. So again, this will be in the report, but not a part that you'll be able to see. This is a little short video of the meter. I'm going to be looking at this low flow indicator, and I do this to look for supply leaks. It's a new house, but occasionally you'll find a supply leak on a new house. So I'm going to play this little video so you've got it for recording. And what we're looking for is for this little, it's called a low flow indicator, that little red triangle there, to be sitting completely still. So if there's any kind of water going on, just even a little teeny little drip less than that, that will start spinning around. So that's how we identify supply leaks. That's how you can, in the future, if you think you have a leak before you call a plumber, you can go out there and just stare at that little low flow indicator. And if it's sitting still, you know you don't have a supply leak. That there's some other problem. It's a pretty short video. There you go. This one, I went up the front of the house here on the roof, and these bunch of shingles are not sticking together. We're going to go through all of those right here, but this is at the very front here. Now you can see the adhesive is present, but the shingles are not bonding together. So the thing is, if I can lift it with my hands, at some point the wind can get up underneath there and lift it and blow the shingles away. And you can get like a domino effect. That shingle blows up, that lifts up the shingle behind that, lifts up the shingle behind that, and you get like a domino effect. So they're going to have to get up there and spend some time up there. There's quite a bit of loose shingles, but this is also at the front here. This is a hole in the shingle on that first cover. So that shingle needs to be replaced. And so that's just right there. That's the location of it. This is a torn shingle, and also a loose shingle. This is a ridge shingle, and that's just a bad picture. I took that by mistake. Delete that. That's the location. That's more loose shingles. Actually, I'll give you a better picture in a second. That's also more loose shingles. And that's all along here. This whole, you can see one right there lifting up. So those are all loose, very loose. So again, they're going to need to get up there and spend some time up there with some sealant. And well, the torn shingles they got to replace. The damaged shingles they need to replace. But all these loose shingles, they need to add some additional sealant. Now the builder may say, well, you know, the shingles are eventually going to get hot enough that they're going to adhere. But it's possible they will, but there's also possible they won't. I do a lot of one-year warranties where I come back and do the full inspection again for people, and the shingles are not bonded. So I'm licensed by the state of Texas, and they require we call out something called adhesion, and what that means is how well are the shingles sticking together. So that's why we're calling this out. This is another ridge shingle that's loose.
A lot of them.
Yep, there's a whole bunch. That's along here. This is just in the front of the house structure. This is again more. These are starter shingles. This is actually into the main cover. So you've got 3 levels of shingles that are just lifting up. They're not sticking together. And that's all right here. This is a damaged fascia board. See it right there. So pretty minor thing, but it's and you can't see it, but it's a brand new house. So generally you want things in new condition. This is a plumbing vent off of your water heater, and it's missing the cap that goes on top of it. So right now when it rains, the rain is going inside the water heater. So they need to put that cap on. You'll see that. When I'm doing the video here later, when I'm walking the roof, you'll see what it's supposed to look like. There's a vent there with a cap on it. So that cap needs to be put on there so we don't get water into the water heater or rain. That's just where it's located. This is an example of what can happen when the shingles don't stick together. These shingles are gone. This is the actual felt paper. This is the last barrier before you get to the wood sheathing. Okay, so they need to go along probably all the ridge shingles you get up there and really look around and really locate all the loose shingles. Otherwise, you're going to be having more of this stuff, and this is when you start getting moisture, possibly, especially if the underlayment is not done correctly. You could get moisture into the house, and that's just in the back of the house right there. This is a torn shingle at a plumbing vent, and also see how they're all loose there. This is loose. That's at that vent right there. So this is just more of the same stuff. Actually, this I'm showing you, they actually overdrove that nail. So this actually would that's probably almost over nailed down too. So they need to get up there and this is all not good. And a lot of it's in places you can't see. That's what that vent should have that.
Okay. So that's the cap you're talking about.
That's the cap, yeah. Is this the video? This may be a video. This is a little short video. It's about a little bit less than 2 minutes. This is, people are always asking, I've got a bunch of pictures, but people are still asking questions about the roof cover. So I just started taking videos of the roof cover. So I'm going to play this little short video. So we got it for the recording. You may hear me huffing and puffing here or making noise because it's, some of these pictures are steep. But overall, the condition is a good shingle. It's a good quality shingle. It's not a crappy shingle. It's a good quality shingle. You can see the missing cap.
Was that the only vent missing the cap?
Okay. Luckily, the water heater's in the garage, so worst case scenario, it would just get in the garage. You know, sometimes water heaters are inside the house. This is almost over. You can see the fascia there. Oh, I hit it by mistake. Sorry. Lost my balance there for a second. That's me switching hands so I can grab all of that. Got some trash that was up there. It's almost done now. Oops, went too far. Oh, no, I didn't. Okay. This is, we talked about the drainage earlier. Both sides of the house, it's very wet on both sides. Very muddy over there. So they need to improve that back to front swale and possibly need to add some drainage on the north and south sides, some ground drains. Or people call them French drains, so actually just ground drains. So right through there. And I've got some illustrations I can put in the report to show you what a swale is supposed to look like. Ground drainage, I'll put those in there.
Yeah, that's nice.
This is pretty wet, and then they've got these downspouts that are terminating right at the structure. So you want to extend these downspouts away from the structure so you've got moisture that's uniform, not uneven, which can cause differential settlement. So you need to be extended these downspouts 6 to 8 feet, preferably underground, meaning subsurface. But you may not do that. You can also put them on top of the ground; just doesn't look as good. That's another downspout. In the report, I can illustrate, and I'll actually draw where they should go. This is your condenser. It's a manufacturer's label. These things are both really just for me. This is a short video of the condenser. Let me pause it for a second. See that little metal seat there? They can put little rubber bushings under there that may help reduce some of that noise. But you can't hear in this video. I don't know why there's no volume, but there's a little damage to the condenser pins right there. Not gonna affect the functioning of it.
Does it affect like any noise?
What's that?
Does it affect any noise? The
damage?
Yeah.
No, that's just that some of the fins got damaged. It looks
Okay.
like it's probably in the factory because the outside's not.
Mm-hmm.
The outside's not damaged. That's almost over.
Mm-hmm.
Again, this is more extending downspouts. This is the fence there. It needs to be fixed.
Okay.
At the end of it, the trim is kind of out of place there. And this is on the other side, which is the see the house faces west, south side.
Okay.
Very wet over there.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the back of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Very wet. So they need to correct these swales. And again, I'll put an example of what a swale looks like.
Mm-hmm.
This is missing either they forgot to put it shouldn't be there, or they need to put an extender down to the ground, a downspout.
Yeah.
Right there.
Is it just a hole right now?
Yeah, it's just the water's going to pour right out of there. So they need to put a downspout down to the ground. This is probably maybe a little picky. The flashing here is not painted. So that flashing should be painted to protect from rusting. It's right up there. That's a pretty minor thing. This is the water pressure of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Now the range for water pressure is 40 to 80. So you're about 45, which is it's a little low.
Mm-hmm.
It's within the range. Sometimes when you have lower pressure like this, you can have problems with pressure with flow inside the house. I did operate. I mean, so I turn on the sink, this kitchen sink, both sinks in there, the tub, and I ran the shower to see if the flow dropped off, and it didn't. So it appears to be fine here.
Okay.
This is your gas meter. This we're required to tell you that where it's located, so that'll be in the report. And then the downspout here. This is just to remind me to tell you that the builder won't do this. It's something you should do. Once you move, you need to lubricate the garage, the wheels, the tracks, anything metal. Just lubricate it with a white lithium grease in the chain. This is basically just a benchmarking of the thermal picture of the panel box when I first got here, when I was just recently, I had recently got here. And this is just to kind of see what's going on with the panel box. When I get into the house, you saw me turning everything on. Yeah. And so I'm loading up the panel box to see what happens, to see if we have any temperatures get too high or if the breakers are getting hot. These are arc fault breakers. That's normal. I looked at the wires and everything. I looked at it 3 times and it looked fine the whole time. So everything's fine. This is so these are 2 ground wires here. There's also a ground here. Now the new code requires the gas system to be bonded, so there would be 4 grounds present, and there's not, so there's 3. Now I'm not sure if the city of Dallas hasn't adopted that yet, but I'm required to call that out. So the gas system, there'll be a comment saying the gas system is not bonded, and that's just the location of it. They're also supposed to put on here, but that's a ground. I know it was, but they didn't label it. That's no big deal. This is your water heater, manufacturer's label. And you actually have high pressure to the house. Even though you have 40, you're showing 40. This is an expansion tank. So somewhere, which I couldn't locate, we're gonna have to talk about that in a minute. There should be a pressure reducing valve. That's how you can increase the pressure. So the builder won't do it because it's within range. But if you move in and you seem like when the house is full of people, you seem like the pressure is kind of low. You can have a plumber come out here and locate that, or have the builder tell you where it's at, and then he can increase that pressure closer to 80 or 70 or 80. This door is a self-closing door. The hinges are present, but they haven't adjusted them yet. So it's a fire door, so it should close when you let go of it. So those self-closing hinges need to be adjusted. This is where you normally see, this is your shut-off inside for the water. There's also one at the front drive, or the front curb. This is normally where you see in new construction, the pressure reducing valve. And I don't see it in here anywhere. Maybe it's buried down here, or they forgot to do it. Now there's also a hole out front with a handhole in it, and it may be there, although the location is odd. Usually they're up at the landscape bed. So I'm going to put in the report that there's no pressure reducing valve visible. So he needs to tell you where that's at. And that's just a location of that. This is a little short video of the garage door test. So we do 2 tests, a pressure test, where we let the door shut on top of something and see if it reverses, the pressure reverse. And then we do a test of electronic eyes. So I'm going to play this little video here. It's short. It's basically it should hit that, and then within a second, back, reverse.
So it's working?
Yep, that's it. Works good. Hit it really quick and went up. And then you'll see me in a second. Just close the door again. I'll put my foot in front of the electronic eye to make sure the electronic eyes work. And you'll see they do. They worked fine. Yeah. And then you'll see the door reversing. So those two tests worked fine. I'll let it finish. This is that handhole I was telling you about. There's a hole in the earth, and it looks like a handhole box right here. Okay, you can't see that, but so there was they dug it up for some reason. I'm not sure why they did it. It's a weird location. If it was a pressure reducing valve, in older construction, they put those pressure reducing valves in a handhole. Actually, they put them in the ground. Now they put them in handholes, and then the new construction, they're putting them in the garage. This is the front door. Again, this may be a little picky. That's kind of hard to operate.
I felt same thing.
It kind of sticks a little bit, so they need to adjust that. This is the when I got inside, I started taking some air conditioning readings. These mainly, I'm doing this to see if there's airflow. The actual readings are done at the unit. You'll see those later on in the recording here. This is just me seeing what's going on here. And then we're going to talk about the placement. So a lot of locations, these supply and returns are close together. And that can cause an imbalance in the air conditioning. So the house is already built. There's likely not going to do anything about it, and it may be out of the builder's control. The engineer the place may have said this is where they have to go. So if you have any heating and cooling problems, you may have to have an HVAC guy come out here and do some balancing of the system. You probably know about this.
Yeah.
That's cracked right there. It needs to be repaired. Yeah. This is your cooktop. This is just showing that it does work. Nice blue flames. This is your dryer vent. What's missing here is there should be a little red sticker here that tells you the length of the vent determination and the diameter, and that sticker is not present. This is your microwave. This is showing that it works. This is your oven. This is showing that it works. It's within the range. 325 to 375 is the range. This is another look at the panel box, and it looks good. This is just to remind. This is what I already told you about. The hinges are present. They just haven't adjusted them to close. That door also kind of operates. It kind of is hard to open and close. This is your dishwasher, and this is showing your dishwasher heating. So it was heating good. This is at the sinks, I believe upstairs. They have them caulked around the sink. So both of these sinks, they need to go around the perimeter and caulk them up. This is again registers that are close. This is a door lock that's broken, and that's at a window in the south bedroom, second floor. This is in the media room, and that window is difficult to open and close. It kind of squeaks when you open it. It's kind of tight, so they need to adjust that window too. This is just for me. I have to report the depth of the insulation. This is your Goodman furnace. What's missing here, and this probably is not, the city's probably not following this code, is they don't have a float switcher on the drain pan. So if the builder won't do it, I'd recommend you doing it yourself because it's not that expensive, like $125, $150. Since this unit is located above the second floor, if there's a problem and you start a moisture problem and the pan starts to leak, it's going to flood the second floor. It's going to flood the whole house. So, and if you do it yourself, I would have the AC guy put not a pan switch, but excuse me, a condensate switch. This is the filter. It's a little bit dirty, so they need to switch that out. You also have that's a 20 by 25 by 1. You have an option for a 4-inch filter, which is what I would do. You have to do this every month. This you do every 6 months. Some of them even a year. This is your ventilator, and they don't have it plugged in for some reason. Oops. So I'm not sure why they did that. So that we need to find out why they have it unplugged in. So this is the actual readings of the air conditioning at the unit. Again, I'm taking them here, but that's not how you do it. So at the supply, we had a 52, and on the return, we had a 68. So that's 16 degrees. The differential range is 15 to 22. Now it's not that hot out, and it's a brand new unit. So generally, with a brand new unit on a day that's not hot, usually that differential is closer to 20, 20, 21, 22. Not 16. 16 is at the very low end of the range. So again, I think probably some servicing and adjusting needs to be done to the air conditioning because Although it's within range, it's for a new unit, it's not operating that great.
Okay.
If it was 105 degrees outside, then a 16 differential would be fine because that differential shrinks when it gets real hot out. This is in the master closet, and this looks like a hot wire to me. I'm not sure. I can't think of anything else that would explain why that signature is there with the thermal camera. So somebody needs to get up there or get an electrician on here and find out what's going on. Or unless the builder says, "Oh no, I know that's this," whatever. Unless he can tell you what it is. This is a third look at the panel box, and again, it looks great. Looks fine. This is the heating on the first floor, and 100. It was getting hotter when I get to the second floor. Here, you'll see it. It was got up to 108, and so it's closer to the unit, so it got hotter quicker. So it will eventually get hot down here too. This is right up, closer to the furnace. So that's the heating at the second floor, and that's it. That's everything. So probably the big thing is the roof, and then the
drainage,
the drainage, and then the master closet.
Okay.
Those are probably the big three. But of course, you want them to fix all of it.
Yeah.
And that's it. Any questions?
Nothing for now.
Okay, cool. Okay.